Thank you very much. I'm audible. I suppose so. Yes. So I'll probably not stand at the podium. I'll be among you. Okay. So first of all, fantastic afternoon to you, or as they say in Deutsch, Mahlzeit. That's the first thing they say, right? Mahlzeit for practically everything. I'm a father of 2 young daughters. They're 10-year-old twins. The other day they came from school and they asked, Papa, can you explain me how eclipses work? You know, the solar and the lunar eclipse. You know, first I took a paper, pencil, drew it on some, nothing, absolutely nothing. And then I took a ball and a flashlight, you know, the usual method, sort of ish. And then I put a VR headset on both of them. And we had the entire solar system anchored in the living room. Within minutes, they were running around completely amok. And then they not only understood how the eclipses work, they just got it. In fact, in a few minutes, they were playing asteroids at Earth to start another apocalypse. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, fascinating. No words, no equations, no astronomy or cosmology lecturer beside this one. That's the power of XR. That's the power of XR. So, we have already gone through an introduction. I'm Vijay. I work for the VCX Forum as the Vice President. I also work at Vodafone. VCX Forum is involved in creating camera quality benchmarks for laptops, tablets, and phones. So next time you are in the market to buy a new shiny for yourself or for your loved one, look us up. 1, because we are a not-profit organization. 2nd, we are independent, we are objective, and we are progressive. And these are the companies who are helping us do exactly that. That said, for this session, I promise you that at the end of this session, we will go away with new insights on how XR is going to change our lives. When I say XR, it's an umbrella term that is used for virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Let's start. We'll go through these 3 main topics. 1 is this, that's my cousin, by the way. Okay, I get it. Hard crowd over there. That's my cousin. We'll try to understand how XR is different from the previous revolutions. Right? We had the social media revolution, we had the internet revolution, and before that, I think the crowd over here is probably not old enough to remember the radio and the television revolution either. But anyway, so that's that. And then the second, what we're going to see or discuss here is understand how XR is going to change our lives. The third is, of course, the evolution of XR itself. Let's see how that goes. So, first of all, let me tell you another story. In the mid-90s, I had a task to educate a bunch of bank employees and migrate them from a DOS-based operating system. You guys wouldn't know that. Anybody DOS? Nope. Okay. This side, slightly older crowd. DOS. Anybody remember DOS? There you go. See those gentlemen over there? Yeah, that's it. That's it. DOS. Disk-based or disk operating system was something that Microsoft had created. Fantastic interface. You had to do everything via keyboard. But anyway, so migrating them from DOS to Windows. So I had this projection out there with a nice window, and I asked those students, the bunch of bank employees, to move the mouse cursor up and click. At the corner of my eye, I could see an elderly lady. You know what she did? She just lifted the mouse up and then clicked. Amazing, absolutely shocking, absolutely shocking. We had a laugh afterwards, but you know what? She's right. She's absolutely right, because the interface is not intuitive. That's the challenge with all these revolutions. The problem, the villain, is not her. It's this. It's this. The keyboard, the mouse. The reason is this. We as humans are spatial by nature. We have been given eyes that can gauge distances. We have been given ears to immediately locate where the sound comes from, right? And then we have been given these opposable thumbs to grasp, push, pull. And actually the environment around us actually responds to these actions. And I'm speaking to you. I'm flailing my hands, moving around on the stage. So that makes me spatial native. We had digital natives, these young kids over here, digital natives. That means they have learned how to interface with digital entities. Whereas humans are spatial natives. We are already born with faculties to interact with 3 dimensions. So we are spatial. Apart from that, when I'm speaking to you, I'm not just standing in one corner and just putting my words. No, I'm flailing my hands. I'm raising my eyebrows, using all the senses that I have to understand, to communicate what I'm telling you. That also means to say we are multimodal. So on one side, we are not only spatial, we are also multimodal. You might hear this word called multimodal in the AI discussions quite a bit. So we are already that. What does it mean? It means when you wear an XR glass, whether it's VR, AR, this one, you're already, the interface is intuitive in the sense that bank employee, if she had done raise her hand and click on a button, it would actually work. That makes XR intuitive. And of course, it is immersive. If you have tried a VR glass, you're actually immersed in a 3D environment already. So that's immersive. And because we are spatial natives, we are able to operate in XR environment without much training. And that makes it inclusive. Because now you don't need specialized programming skills. You don't need to understand Python or C or C++ or newfangled programming languages to get things done. And that's the reason it is inclusive as well. I'll have to take a sip, sorry. We'll go through how XR is going to change our lives in these spheres. These spheres are in increasing order. One is the personal sphere. Then is the work sphere. Then we have the social sphere, and probably we'll come to the society sphere. On the personal sphere, we already saw an example of how XR is going to affect the education bit. Anything, the studies from atoms to the structure of the universe and everything in between can be programmed, can be made in XR. That means to say, if you're trying to learn anything about anything, it's going to be much more efficient, much more immersive, much more intuitive when it is put on XR. Now, after all that learning, you come back home and you just want to relax. You want to watch a movie. Now, the fun starts. How do you usually watch a movie? In front of TV? Yes? Yes? Now, imagine you're actually restricted to a very small rectangle over here. You can say, oh, but my TV is 100 inches big. Yeah, but still, it is a rectangle. Now, imagine if the TV comes alive, and it's not just 3D. It is 3D 360. You turn, and it actually responds. You're as though you're in an environment, a complete immersive environment. And not only that, you can become a character in the movie itself. How cool is that going to be? Fantastic. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody have a fantasy character that he or she wants to play? No one? Okay, I'm going to pick then. What about you, young lady? Do you want to play somebody in one of those movies? Not at all? Okay, fine. Okay, so the entire entertainment is going to be transformed via XR. The next one, we're talking about do it yourself. We as humans love to do a lot of things with our hands, whether it is cooking, whether it is fitness, whether it is repairing our own stuff, or even buying something from IKEA and assembling it. Yes? Now imagine you have a Michelin star chef right beside you. When you're wearing glasses, the person appears beside you and actually instructs you how to make the next wonderful meal, not only for yourself, but your friends and family. And that's how it's going to transform the do-it-yourself market. And the third one, of course, is shopping. You see this young gentleman wearing a nice watch over there. He's just wearing an XR glass and actually looking at how it actually looks on his hand. It's not just that. It's not just that. You can get the entire shopping mall into your living room, or you can go to a shopping mall and transform the way you shop. Who among us hates shopping? There you go. May I know why? You just hate the traffic. The traffic. Absolutely. There you go. There's one problem with shopping in terms of traffic. And why do you hate shopping, sir? I want to get what I want and get out. Nice. Nice. He wants to get what he wants and get the hell out of there. Absolutely. And that is exactly what's going to happen with XR. Not only, for me, the problem is I hate it when I go for grocery shopping, because on these packages, they put these fonts so small that amazing. No. That's humanly impossible to read. You know what? With XR, you're wearing the glass, it's able to see those labels, not only highlight and zoom the entire thing, and this in the comfort of your living room, by the way. You don't have traffic, you do nothing. If you really want to travel, there'll be drones that you can sit in and go. But that's different. We'll come to that. That's another keynote speech. What you can do is, you can have a virtual shopping mall in your living room, and with a flick of your fingers, you can eliminate every object that you don't like. If you have an allergy, they are gone. If you don't like a particular color, they are gone. If you don't like raisins, they are gone. So that's how it's going to transform shopping. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. You know what? Combine this with the next generation AI. If you buy something, say, suppose you want to buy, say, a suit or something like that. You just enter this virtual shopping mall, click on it, you're already in it then. It's very easy to simulate that. And then you have an AI agent right beside you, and then say, hey, how do I look? I say, oh, you're going to a black tie party, right? That's so last year. So that's the power. That's the power of what XR is going to change in terms of shopping. Usually revolutions don't happen from one single technology. It's actually a culmination of different technologies that come together. So here, what we are looking at is XR, AI, and of course, 5G when it comes to connectivity. So the next is, let's see how it's going to change our work environment. Usually at work, what we do is majorly three different things. One is communication, the second one is collaboration, and the third one is, of course, customer service. Communication is very, very straightforward. As I said before, we are all spatial and multimodal creatures. It's always much, much better to speak to a person face to face, because there is so much more information when you speak to somebody face to face, not just on an email or a text or anything for that matter. But here, irrespective of where your colleagues are, they can be right in front of you. And then you can use all your multimodal faculties given by nature to communicate. The meetings will be a lot more efficient, a lot more shorter, and a lot more intimate. It makes you human again. That's the power of XR. When it comes to collaboration, you see these young people over here. They have an entire city. They're architects. They have an entire city spread on the table. And every time each of them manipulate an object, the other person can actually see it. So imagine what transformation it's going to have when you can have objects, virtual objects, being manipulated and worked upon by different people. And before it comes to reality, from engines to cities, to design, to art, you name it, it's going to be transformed. And going on to customer service, we have seen these, I saw these beautiful, huge printing machines over there. Oh my goodness, they could practically print anything out there. Now imagine, you deliver it to a customer and usually you have a user manual, right? The bigger the machine, the thicker the user manual, usually. Now, with XR, imagine the user manual doesn't exist. What you have, as soon as you wear your glasses, is an AI agent from the printing company that is specific to that machine. Comes alive in the human format. And then you can just ask a question. How does it work? Where is the power button? Or, oh, the paper is stuck. What do I do? The AI agent will be able to answer as though you're actually speaking to another human. That's the power of XR bringing to customer service. By the way, we have used this in Vodafone in Portugal as well. We'll talk about this if we have time later. From the social point of view, we are already past the social revolution. Here you see a young person taking a selfie. The reason why usually we take selfies, at least I take selfies, is if I am, say, imagine if I'm in a beautiful mountain beside a waterfall, there's flowers everywhere, and I click a picture. And then I send it to a loved one. The message I'm trying to send there is, wish you were here, right? That's one of the reasons you take a selfie. I'm not talking about the duck face selfies. I have no clue why that happens, but yes. Right now, when you send that image, when you send that selfie, it is again restricted to a rectangle. But when you actually wear the glasses and take a quote-unquote selfie, you're not only sending pixels, you're actually sending an experience. The person who you send this to not only sees that rectangle in front of you, but 3D and 360. The person can actually get into your shoes and see all around what you are seeing. And not only that, you can hear the sound of water that's falling from the waterfall. And that is the power of XR. That's the power of communicating using the sharing experience. When I say caring, caring to me is about spending quality time with loved ones. Spending quality time, irrespective of where they are. Now, the other day, my daughter came and said, Papa, I'm so upset, I'm so this one, that. My friend is celebrating her birthday in Beijing, and I can't be with her. With XR, that could have been easily possible. My kid wears a glass, her friend wears a glass, and then, boom, my kid is actually with her, celebrating her friend's birthday, actually right beside her. If her friend turns like this, she'll be able to see my daughter beside her, right? She blows the candles, she can see. In fact, the friend of hers can actually introduce my daughter to her friends and family. And that's the power of XR. Imagine if this were to be possible during the pandemic. Imagine. We could have given a lot of hope, a lot of strength to those vulnerable people who couldn't meet anyone. But that's what XR brings into our life in the future. It is going to be possible. When it comes to playing, that's what humans do. Most animals do. You'll see a lot of small little puppies playing with each other all the time. We do it as well. We do it with our friends and family, whether it is chess, Rubik's Cube, Jenga, whatever. For each and every one of these, we'll have to buy something, either a chessboard or these Jengas. But with XR, nothing. Nothing. You can conjure up that entire game on a table. You can physically play with the other person right there, everything in virtual reality. How cool is that going to be? It's going to transform how we actually play. That's the power of XR we're talking about. Now, coming to the society as a whole, society is a huge, huge, huge globe, a huge sphere. The number of variables that affect society are huge and humongous. Climate change, wars, politics, you name it. It's humongous. So maybe let's not try to predict how XR will change, XR, AI, and 5G will change society. Let's probably park it for some time and look at something that's super interesting in terms of the future of XR itself. If you see, the current VR glasses, they are all huge. They are heavy. The reason why they're heavy is because they're filled with electronics to make you believe that you're immersed in a virtual environment. That also means to say they take a lot of energy. So you have the challenge of weight, you have the challenge of cost. Of course, each of them cost a ton of money. Have you seen the latest Apple Vision Pro? Jesus, it's like 3,500 euros. There are more expensive ones as well. But stamina, again, battery challenge, heat. In countries like Germany and the Nordics, it's okay. It's slightly colder, it still works. But imagine in the tropics, it's going to be a problem wearing a VR headset for 3 or 4 hours. You'll be in sweltering heat. You just can't, because that will be generating a lot of heat as well. And the design, oh my goodness, the design. Have you seen this? Will any of you young people over here wear this and go on the road? No, exactly. Not at all. Not at all. So it's not design friendly. You can't do much out of it. Now imagine if we were to remove most of the electronics in the VR headset. Usually the electronics is to compute and track. If we remove that and put it in a box outside and then have a glass that is wirelessly connected to the box, wouldn't that be fantastic? Imagine that. That would be fantastic. But imagine no more. We did exactly that and demonstrated it at MWC. You see, what we have here is a prototype of exactly that. This is the future of XR. I'm holding it right in my hand. This is wireless and practically weightless when compared to those monstrosities on your head. And it's wonderful to use. Many companies are also trying to do the exact same thing, but this is what the future of XR is going to look like. And hopefully, in a year or two, we'll get to a point where we'll see glasses like this, designer-friendly, that you can actually wear on the road. And with that, hopefully, we will end the tyranny of this keyboard. Right? Shall we do that? There you go. So now, the effect on society, per se. Usually, technology goes through different phases, right? And right now, what we see here is the discovery phase, the development phase, and the weaponization phase. Have you seen the latest AI news? Fake video. The negatives about AI, deep fakes, prompt attacks, a lot of things. So right now, technology is being weaponized. So every technology, new technology that comes, actually gets weaponized. I'm absolutely sure that XR is going to be weaponized as well. But then, once weaponization happens, you also have, in parallel, capitalization. Have you seen how many AI-themed booths are over here? All these companies are capitalizing on the hype, on some part reality, and trying to generate as much money as possible. And when they go too far, the governments will actually catch up and start regulation. And when they start regulation, there is a balance that is achieved in technology. And that's when creatives come up and create more content for XR. And that is when this one happens. You have proliferation of XR, real use cases come into picture, education, work streams, meeting people online in terms of face-to-face. That's what's going to be the key to proliferation. And once this happens, you have the prices of hardware coming down, new software, user-generated content will come in. And that's when we will all be able to reap the benefits of XR, AI, and 5G together. And that's the phase of normalization. You've been a wonderful audience. See you on the other side.